Yo, what's good in Mr. Rogers Raider Hood? We have some camp battles going on, right? Lots of names being talked about, some rookies making noise. Pete Carroll says he's not afraid to start rookies. Also, some Christian Wilkins updates. Man, you know what to do. Let's get unleashed. Shit.
The autumn wind is a pirate, blustering in from sea. With a rollicking song he sweeps along, swaggering boisterously. His face is weather-beaten. He wears a hooded sash, with a silver hat about his head, and a bristling black mustache. He growls as he storms the country, a villain big and bold. And the trees all shake and quiver and quake as he robs them of their gold. The autumn wind is a raider, pillaging just for fun. He'll knock you round and upside down and laugh when he's conquered and won.
Hey, you know what I like to do? Just follow me on this.
Hey, that fire still burns bright here in Las Vegas.
And one future.
Boys,
Talk about commitment to excellence. Just win, baby. Once a Raider, always a Raider. You walk in this building, you can feel it.
It starts with our DNA, ill intent, physicality.
7 memorable decades, 30 Pro Football Hall of Famers, 25 postseason victories, 5 AFL and AFC championships, and 3 Super Bowl titles. Though names, faces, and locations have changed, one constant remains: the unyielding will to win.
Yo, what's good? Happy Saturday to everybody. Hope their weekend is starting off very, very well. We have all kinds of camp battles going on. Gino with the INTs, the defense with the picks. Who's better? Man, don't panic. It's just camp, right? Everybody's got to get acclimated. Aiden O'Connell looking good. All kinds of news coming out of camp, right? Jordan Meredith taking first team reps. What's that about? We'll break that down. We'll get into that. But first, how's everybody feeling, man? Let me know before the chat gets, going and I can read everybody's shit. How's everybody's feeling? How was their week? Are you happy it's Saturday? Are you even happier that it's closer to football, man? Because I can't wait anymore. That's the heart beating, nonstop adrenaline. I just want to see somebody hit somebody. I can't wait till, Wednesday, I believe, when the pads officially come on. And we can start to see where some of these guys stand, right? Like Caleb Rogers, where I've heard has been, being a little aggressive out there without the pads on. So that's good signs, great signs for, a lot of Raider fans that don't believe Alex Kappa is the man for the job. I heard somebody talk about it today. Q Myers, shout out to him being on, Rundown in Just Raiders Baby Show. Good show, go check it out. So, Q Myers said he believes Alex Kappa is going to be the starter because they know Alex Kappa and what Alex Kappa can do. But that's just Pete Carroll, right? That's Tom Brady. I mean, not Pete Carroll. That's Tom Brady and Spytek. The coaches on the coaching staff don't really know what Alex Kappa can do. And if he's getting outworked by these young guys, don't think for a minute Pete Carroll or Chip Kelly are not going to pull the plug and put in one of these rookies, or even a second-year guy like Dylan Parham or a Jordan Meredith. So I believe Kappa's got his work cut out for him. We all know what he once was, but we all know what he was the last couple of years. And was that a product of the offense, the team he was with, not being fully healthy? We'll see, right? We'll find out here in a couple days. 4 days away? We're going to see where it stands. So I feel like, these young guys need a shot. And if Pete Carroll's not afraid to play young guys, which we all know he's not. He said it himself in the presser. He said it many, many times, right? Best man up. So it doesn't matter how young you are, how much experience you have. If you're out working the other guys and you know you're 111, you're going to get on the field. So I look for this, offensive battle to keep going throughout preseason, right? Now, maybe they might have their mind made up as soon as camp, ends. But I still think it's going to be a battle, right? I still feel like guys are going to have a chance to prove themselves. And when they get that opportunity, if you take full advantage of that opportunity, then you're going to get reps. You're going to get grass time. And the more grass time you get, it might not be long before you take that job. It might be day one. So, look out for these guys. Caleb Rogers being one. Laki Tassi, don't forget about Laki Tassi, man. He's been taking offensive reps. If this guy can get it together, he's a damn bus out there at guard position. I mean, like we've talked about before, can you imagine Ashton Genty and Raheem Mostert and the rest of the crew running behind a man like this? I mean, it's just nasty work. So if Laki Tassi could put it together, man, that would be huge for this team. But I feel like, guys like Caleb Rogers, guys like Dylan Parham, which a lot of people, are sleeping on. But Dylan Parham was still one of our highest graded offensive linemen since he's been on the team, right? The only problem with him is he's a little light. He needs to pack on weight, get a little stronger, and he's got to stay healthy. I mean, we talked about this over and over again. It seems like 100 times per show, right? Availability is the best ability. And if you can't get on the field and stay healthy, you're not only hurting yourself, but you're hurting your teammates, right? So, if this guy can stay healthy, he is like I said, one of our highest offensive, graded guys out there for the last couple years. So don't sleep on Dylan Parham, right? And then you have in the mix, Munford. What's Thayer Munford going to do? Is he going to be on the outside? Is he going to be a backup to Colton Miller? Is he going to be a backup to DJ Glaze, who I heard has just got worked by Max Crosby? We'll get to that later. Somebody remind me because I'll probably forget. I don't have notes. You know how I do this freestyle off the dome. So, yeah, man, I believe it's going to be a battle, right? Where's Thayer Munford going to be? Is he going to be at the guard position on the left side? Do you move Jordan Meredith over to the right guard position, which he has not been taking any reps at the right guard position? And maybe they seen enough film from him last year to be like, man, this dude really doesn't need to take reps at the right or the left side. That's our guy. That's who we're going with. To me, that should be the case, in my opinion. I mean, Jordan Meredith out there grinding again. We've seen what he did last year. Who's a guy who didn't have much experience, right? He just worked his ass off to earn that spot, and a lot of it was because guys were hurt. But once he got that opportunity, like a DJ Glaze, he didn't relinquish it, right? Jason Ruiz was good. Junior Cairo, appreciate you. First time seeing you in the building. Appreciate you pulling up. Raph, my guy, what it do? Captain Raph in the building. Y'all go follow his channel. Always dropping great content. Geo Mix, what it do? So, man, this offensive line, I think, is a lot scarier than people are. And I keep using that word scary a lot because they're frightening. It really is. If they put it all together like we believe they're going to do, okay, like I believe, because there's still a lot of doubters out there, but like I believe, like some of y'all in here feel, Jack Kennan, what it do, that this team has a chance to be very, very special. And it all starts in the trenches. We know that. Christian Wilkins was a big loss. We'll get to what I know about Christian Wilkins here in a bit. If you have questions, please hashtag your questions so I can read them without having to go through the whole chat with everybody talking back and forth to each other. Appreciate you. Marcus Banks, my guy. What's good? How's your weekend? So this offensive line, man, depth is a key part. And I talked about it in my last live yesterday. I was gone for a week, doing some things, had a blast. But, however, I talked about it in my live, right? It all comes down to who wants it more, right? And the fact that Chip Kelly has iterated over and over and over again the versatility of Thayer Munford, the versatility of Meredith, the versatility of Dylan Parham, right? Those are the three most versatile guys on our offensive line. If those three guys are, two of them are, backups that can play all three positions on the interior and, even one on the outside, that is a huge, huge plus. And also, you got to think about the fact that Jordan Meredith has been taking first team reps at center. And I know a lot of people are probably surprised when you hear that. What's going on with JPJ? Are they planning on moving him to guard? I believe the answer is no. I don't think they're going to mix match and move him around like they did last year. They're going to let this man settle in at center. It's where he wants to be. But you also have to take in the fact that quarterbacks get hurt every single year. It's not if, it's when, right? When it comes to the NFL, guys are going to get nicked up. They're going to get banged up. They're going to get sick. I mean, anything could happen, right? To any guy on the field at any time. So your backup has to have reps with your starting center, not just, your backup center. So I feel this is a damn good thing and just another brilliant move by Pete Carroll, by Chip Kelly, because we didn't see that a lot last year, right? We should have. We had JPJ, who should have been getting reps at the center position, in my opinion. We also had a guy that I keep talking about that I don't know, the chances are getting slimmer and slimmer, making this team, of Will Putnam. Another guy that could play center, could play both guards positions, is a dog, has that killer instinct and that, that freakish mentality where he just wants to hurt people. So Will Putnam, man, I don't know where they're going to put this guy if they're putting Jordan Meredith, at center position and taking first team reps. But again, you have to have guys, if something happens to JPJ, you got to have a guy that can step in there. If something happens, to Geno Smith, you got to have a quarterback that's had reps with your starting center, right? So no panic there. They just want these guys to be versatile. And that's why I keep saying Dylan Parham, unless somebody offers some huge trade, is not going anywhere, I don't believe. And the same thing with Thayer Munford. Those guys can play too many positions, right? They're needed on this offensive line. I talked about this a million times also. We had so many injuries on the offensive line that we were down to 5 offensive linemen in 2 different games last year. Now, you can't have that if you have 2 backup guards that only play left guard or left and right guard, right? You can't have that if you have your backup tackle only plays on the left side and doesn't play on the right side and can't play a guard position, right? So to me, just more brilliance by a brilliant man who has his shit together and is going to be a big part of why this team is scary. I'm telling you. What's good? Let me get to this chat real quick. Back to the top. Shout out to anybody I missed. OG, what's good? What's good? Iron sharpens iron, right? And that's what it takes. Try to read these and talk at the same time. One of the picks I seen was IPM, Isaiah Palmau, made a remarkable play on the ball, which tells me that his instincts are getting better, right? His ball hawking skills are getting better, and that's what we need to see from Palmau, right? We all know he can hit hard, but the interception was Dante Thornton. Geno threw the ball to Dante Thornton, and he just kind of waited for the ball to come, right? He didn't go attack the ball, didn't go get the ball. He just kind of, ran his route, stopped and waited for the ball to come. And Isaiah Palmau just hopped in front of that shit and took it like it was candy from a baby. So, man, I love to see those from our defensive guys. Let's go camping in Maui again. You went camping in Maui with Candy? Damn, I bet that was an adventure. Candy, OG, Melissa. All right, yeah, see, I don't even have to hit those thumbs. Got you. All right, Kenneth says, nope. Well, shit, I don't have to read the chat. Y'all making it easy as hell. Oh, here we go. Rebel, honestly, I could see Parham getting cut. Just me says 3.5 million. Look at the overall cap, and Wilkins just over 8.5. We still have $30 million. Now with the Christian Wilkins thing, it should go up to 38, I do believe. That's plenty of money to do what we do. And for $3.25 million, you don't get rid of a guy like Dylan Parham. The guy has experience at center at both guard positions. He's played both guard positions for the Raiders and done pretty well. You know, everybody gets worked over time, but I just don't feel like cutting this man for $3.5 million is worth it when you need versatility on the offensive line. I'm not the only one that thinks so. Chip Kelly, Pete Carroll, all these guys. Spytech has talked about it. Every coach talks about it, right? Versatility is key. You got to have versatile guys. And who else is out there? We don't have a lot of guys that play a lot of positions, right? If you look at Caleb Rogers, he pretty much plays right guard. Now, he can play tackle, but he pretty much plays right guard. If you look at DJ Glaze, right? He's pretty much played right tackle since he's been in the league. Now, he could probably play the guard position, but he's not getting reps at it, so it's not going to be, a thing where you could just plug him in at the right guard position and this man's going to dominate. He's not even dominated at the right tackle position yet. He's still learning. And good thing he's got to go against Max Crosby because, what better, who better to learn from going against Max every day. So, DJ Glaze, right? Not a very versatile guy. Colton Miller plays left side and left side only. Absolutely. That's it. Done. So the versatility guys that we have, JPJ, we know can play center and left guard. I believe he played right guard a little bit too. I think a couple snaps last year. But we know JPJ can move around. We know Parham can move around, and we know Thayer Munford can be moved around. And I believe that's what they're trying to do with Jordan Meredith because he basically only played left and right guard, and center is a new thing for him. So, they're trying to let this dude learn on the fly. But why force Jordan Meredith to learn a center position when you have a guy like Will Putnam? Now, I don't know, maybe he's just not doing his thing out there and he's not grinding like he's supposed to be. But I know last year he was fighting Robert Spillane and Max Crosby and the whole entire defense by himself. So this dude's a dog and a fighter, and I don't know why they're trying to, have Meredith on the fly learn a new position. That doesn't make sense. But I'm not the coaching staff, and I'm down with whatever they're doing. I'm totally bought in. This will be 1 year. I'm not critiquing shit. Hopefully. One thing I'm totally confused about is the defense of the Raiders. Are they going to play a 4-2-5, hearing 3 linebackers or 3 safeties? What is the Raiders defense going to do? Well, Kenna, I'm not an expert, but I did stay at a Holiday Inn Express last night. I've talked about it many, many times. Pete Carroll always runs a 4-3 base. That's what he does. That's what he believes in. That's in his, that's his MO. That is in his strategy. That is in everything he has, his beliefs. Why change it? Why change it? And I don't think Patrick Graham in the 4-2-5 did enough for Pete Carroll to say, okay, let's keep running that system. Now, there could be, and there will be, not could be, there will be times where they're still running 4-2-5, right? But I can almost promise you, and I'm not going to guarantee, but almost guarantee, man, I pretty much believe this defense is going to run a 4-3. We've heard all the indications, right? We haven't heard much from Patrick Graham, which just seems weird. We haven't heard Patrick Graham talk too much. Or Robbie Leonard, really. But we heard, from Pete Carroll say over and over again that Jeremy Chinn's going to play that third linebacker position. That Jamal Adams is now going to play that third linebacker position. Why do they keep saying third linebacker position if you're not going to run a 4-3? So, 100% shout out to Unleashed Raiders with the $10 smackaroo. Appreciate you keeping the lights on in the building. Always looking out for the Unleashed Nation family. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. If you'd like to subscribe, become a member, man, links in the description. But that's how I feel, Kenna. I feel, you know, and I could be wrong. I could be wrong. I'm just fucking with you. But really, man, it's pretty much obvious. That's what Carroll has always run. Everywhere he's went, whether it been the Jets, whether it been New England, whether it been USC, his base defense has always been a 4-3. I don't think he's going to change it for Patrick Graham and the Raiders, right? You brung what you brung. What brought you to the dance, what wins you dances, is that 4-3. Now, some people question the fact that he runs the, you know, you run a cover 3 sky defense, which is pretty much, you know, I mean, I don't know. I had to break it down one day. If everybody don't know what it is, I'll pull up a sheet and a chart or whatever, or maybe some old Seattle film, and we'll break it down. But cover 3, sky cover 3, and you probably find it on Madden actually, is what Pete Carroll's always ran, what he likes to run, and there's a reason for that. He has big, strong safeties, big, strong corners that can come up and play in the box. They can tackle, right? They can blitz. You have linebackers that aren't forced to cover past 10 yards. Maybe 15 at the most. Probably, like I said, not past 10 yards. So your linebackers aren't put in, dangerous situations where they're constantly covering guys. You have guys that are going to switch. If a guy cuts inside, that linebacker doesn't have to cover him. You got somebody else coming down at the safety spot, right? So that's how I feel. I feel like it's going to be a whole lot of, 4-3 base defense and a bunch of cover 3. And there's a bunch of ways you can, disguise cover 3. You can disguise, 4-3 defense with a bunch of looks. Make it look like Tampa 2. Shoot, like I said, bring the safeties down in the box as that third linebacker, which is more than likely going to be the scenario. I think that's why Jeremy Chin was brought in, to play in the box. And who doesn't like playing the box? Let me get a 1 in the chat if you like playing in the box. But that's what I feel. That's what I feel. Shout out to my guy Lawrence. Chronicles of the Black Hole has to say, hey Rebel, we have 5 quarterbacks on this team, and 2 of them are receivers. 1,000%. Also, we have looked at 2024 highlights from Keandre Coburn. We don't need Wilkins. We don't need Wilkins, and I've been a huge advocate of that since he got hurt. Right? I've said before, if he had to miss, half a season, that we could deal with it. We could get away with it. Because of Jonah Lalu and Tyree Wilson, and people keep sleeping on Tyree Wilson. And we'll just go on to the next topic. Is Tyree Wilson, man. Tyree Wilson in camp has been standing out, right? He's got people turning heads. Now, I've talked to people that have been at the practices because they've had open practices to the public. And if y'all are in Vegas and want to see the Raiders, practice live, go fill up the seats, right? Pete Carroll has said they want everybody to come. They don't even care if they overfill the seats. They want people yelling, making noise, make it like a game scenario when the pads come on. So if you're in Vegas, which I will be the 10th through the 14th of August, I got to make one of those practices. I got to do some family shit. That's why I'm going to be out there. But man, I got to get to one of those practices. So yeah, go check out the practices. But Tyree Wilson, man, Tyree Wilson, from a couple people, not just 1 or 2, and none of them content creators, all people that have been there watching, have said Tyree Wilson looks bigger, stronger, faster, better technique. He's using his hands more. His bend is a lot better. His get off is a lot quicker. He's been getting pressure on the quarterbacks, and a lot of it has been from the interior. I mean, I just had to say that because since he's been a Raider, I've been saying, put this man in the middle, man. He has a 7-foot wingspan. That's 3 NFL players right there. Like, Come on, that's three bodies you can reach out to. Why is this man in the middle when he's been in the middle? He's been a dog when it comes to run stuffing. Now go look at PFF grades. I would pull them up, but I don't feel like it right now. But if you look at PFF grades, and everybody says, "Oh, we should have got Jalen Carter. We should have got Jalen Carter." Man, the numbers aren't that different. I've said it a million times. But the numbers that are ridiculously different, run stopping ability. Tyree's is like in the 70s, bro. Carter's in the 50s. So, he brings us that aspect. And if he can just continue to get better and grow 1% every day, like Patrick Graham talks about, this kid is, like I've said, he's never going to live up to that number 7 overall pick because we're going in year 3. Really, it's only year 2. The first year shouldn't even count. We all knew that. Everybody said it. I said it a million times. This is actually only his second year. And if he catches on this year, that's a damn good sign for the Raiders, right? That's a damn good sign. So maybe the Christian Wilkins thing, we'll get to Christian Wilkins in a minute. But Tyree is making noise. He's making noise. He's getting to the quarterback. He's putting pressure on the quarterback. Tony Israel, what's good? What's good? Appreciate you dropping in. So that's a huge, huge sign for the Raiders, right? Now, some people say it's way too little, too late. He's going in his 3rd year. But we all know he didn't play, 6 games his rookie year? And he wasn't even healthy. It was because Chandler Jones went cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, and he got thrown into the fire and had to play. But then Malcolm Kuntz got a fire lit under his ass with Tyree getting, being out there. So it helped all the way around, in my opinion. And he did a little, and he's done, a lot more. He's getting pressure on the quarterback. He's getting sacks. I see him getting, hopefully somewhere around 7 or 8 sacks this year. That would be huge for not only this team, for the defense, but for Tyree Wilson himself, right? To put it all together. And I feel this is the year that Tyree does that. Now, everybody in the nation, I don't care who you are, has all dog Tyree Wilson, bro. I've not been on that train. I've backed this kid since day one. And if he doesn't, then, I'll admit I'm going to be wrong. But I'm not going to sit here and say, man, I hope he proves me wrong. I hope nah, fuck that. Tyree Wilson has all the accolades to be that guy. It's in his head mentally. He's thinking too much. You got to just do, man. Go out there, move bodies, get to the quarterback, stop the run, and show this, this coaching staff that you want to play and want to be out here. And he's going to get reps, and he's going to help this franchise. I guarantee you. But it's going to take time, man. It's going to take time. Raider Nation has been, since I've known it, for 50 years I've been doing this shit, man. Not YouTube shit, but 50 years. Raider Nation is always quick to jump on guys. For rookie year, he didn't have 1,000 yards. You got to go. He's a bust, right? Defensive tackle didn't have 10 sacks, or defensive end, didn't have 10 sacks rookie year. He's a bust. Get him out. Impatience, bro. Impatience. So we all knew Tyree was going to take time. We all knew. Now, could he ever live up to that 7th overall pick? I don't know. Let me know in the comments. What would it take for Tyree Wilson? Not even this year, right? His next year, contract year. Next year will be a contract year. What do you need from Tyree Wilson? How many pressures? How many sacks? How many tackles for loss would it take for the people in the chat to be happy with Tyree being picked number 7 overall this year? What would it take? I want to know. QBs and DBs. I don't know what that means, Kenneth. I love the fact my Panda brothers, along with personnel, friend in the chat. What? Panda's brother? You're killing me. You're killing me over here. Salute to my guy Israel. What's good? What's good? Appreciate you dropping in. Oh, okay. I got you. Yeah. I don't know why I passed over that. We do have 5 quarterbacks. Tommy Malott, I mean, if you look at his passing numbers, not great, right? And I don't think that's a guy that you want as your quarterback. That's why he's a receiver. Not saying he couldn't do it in an emergency situation, but that would be a horrible year for us. On the other hand, Jacoby Myers has showed he has a hell of an arm. He has pretty damn good accuracy, and he has the best Raiders, percentage in history if you want to look at it, right? Completions percentage. So Jacoby Myers brings you that aspect, and don't think Chip Kelly's not going to try something with either one of those guys, right? Whether it be Malott, Mallet, how do you say his name, bro? Tommy Malott. These guys are going to be used, in some kind of way. Don't if Bo Hardigree can come up with plays for Jacoby Myers to throw the football, I guarantee you Chip Kelly can. So, yes, we have a dynamic weapon with Aiden being back there, with Cam Miller being back there. Speaking of Aiden O'Connell, man, the kid is killing it. Like I knew he would, like a lot of Raider fans knew he would. The man is out there lighting it up. We heard Pete Carroll talk about it, right? Aiden's impressed him. We heard people bitching about, oh, there's no quarterback battle. There's no quarterback battle. Then why the fuck are you on a team? Excuse my language. But why are they on the team if there's no battle? How can anybody sit here and say there's no quarterback competition? There is. There's 3 guys in the quarterback room, and every single one of them are going to get snaps and going to get reps. To me, that's a competition. You want guys behind you to go out there and do damn good, right? To put pressure on you to do better. That's what I want. I want Aiden O'Connell and Cam Miller to be the best, have the best camp they could possibly have to, make Geno be like, damn, I got to be even better, right? And that's, like my guy said, iron sharpens iron. So there is a quarterback battle. There is a competition. There's 3 guys. You can't say there's no competition. Now, they might already have the starter in their mind, but those minds can be changed. Don't think they can't. Pete Carroll changed his mind with Russell Wilson when he had Flynn, right? Went and traded for a guy, paid him a whole bunch of money, and then didn't even play him. Went with the rookie. So it's happened before. It could happen again. But like I said, you got to do a whole hell of a lot to change their mindset. But there is a possibility. So for anybody to say there's no camp battle, you're saying Pete Carroll's a liar, and you're saying Chip Kelly's a liar, that these guys aren't battling out there? That they are? I mean, I don't know. To me, just doesn't make sense, right? They should be battling. They should be pushing each other. And if you look on the film on all the training that they showed and everything they showed out there, it looks to me like they are. They're giving Aiden, first team reps with JPJ. Like, don't sleep on this team. I'm telling you. Sorry, Rebel, I was away from the computer. Did you answer my question about Wilkins? Shit, probably not. Let me go find it. Oh, hold up. No, I didn't. What do you think about us getting rid of Christian Wilkins? Are you upset they got rid of him? Oh, that was the 10. I didn't even read that. My apologies. I apologize. Thank you again for the $10 smackaroo. No, I'm not. I'm not at all whatsoever. Actually, I was kind of a little happy, right? I said it before. I was not whatsoever. I was not happy with the price they paid him. He had 1 year with 9 sacks, and they paid him the highest defensive line, pretty much. I think up there, top 3 or 4 highest paid defensive lineman ever, with $82 million guaranteed. I was never happy with that, bro. I was never happy with that. And my expectations were, you got to have 10 plus sacks a year, some turnovers, forced fumbles, tip balls at the line of scrimmage, whatever. And in 4 games, you did none of that, right? 2 sacks, 10 pressures, something like. So, no, we didn't lose anything except money. That's all the Raiders lost. The Raiders played just fine without him all year. Now, our defensive line could have been better with Max Crosby, Christian Wilkins, and Malcolm Kuntz. But the fact that the youth held it together and held it down while they were gone. Now, we lost a lot of games, but a lot of those were turnovers. I've said this a million times. Turnovers cost us the season last year. Whether it was Gardner, whether it was the running backs, whether it was Aiden, you know, he had 4 interceptions. I mean, come on. But those 4 interceptions hurt. They cost us games. Any turnover costs you games if your defense doesn't get the ball right back, right? And your offense can't score, which we couldn't score at all. What do we had, like 13 points a game or something? I don't even know. It was horrible, pathetic. So no, I'm not whatsoever mad at Christian Wilkins. I'm mad at the fact that we paid him all this money. I'm mad at the fact that the Raiders are probably going to lose, you know, this battle with grievance because Tom Flores, who used to be an attorney, said the Raiders really don't stand a chance, right? They have no proof of him not doing what he was supposed to do to get back into training camp. He said unless they have proof, or there's stuff that hasn't been leaked about Christian Wilkins, you know, shit in the locker room, which I heard from a couple different sources, little birdies in my ear, that Christian Wilkins was starting to be a problem in the locker room, that he was starting to get on some players' nerves, that he was constantly always joking around, not being serious, and it was starting to rub people the wrong way. Now, how much of that is true, I don't know, but when it comes from a couple different people that all say they heard the same thing, it makes you question, right? So if that was the case, if the guy was not taking shit serious, then, I mean, we can't have cancers in the locker room. And I'm not saying he was. This is just hearsay. But if that was the case, you know, I could see why they moved on from him. Also, when you look at Jonah Lalu and you look at Tyree Wilson and what they've been doing in camp and the buzz they've been making, Adam Butler, the noise he's been making, I think they felt like, why pay this man $37 million next year if he is on the roster? That's what he was due. 37 point something million dollars if he was on the roster. And then pay him for this season also? They weren't down with that. And now they're trying to take money that they already paid him because they're trying to get, 30 something million dollars back. So that's why he filed grievance, because they're trying to get that money that, you know, they paid him guaranteed, or that they would be paying him guaranteed, trying not to have to pay that. So, with that being said, if you take all that into consideration and you look at what Tyree Wilson, what Jonah Lalu, and Adam Butler's been doing, that's not even counting the guys behind them that have been making noise, right? Carter's been making noise. Hemingway's been showing a lot of good technique I've seen out there. Tank Booker, another guy that people have not even really talked about, is a guy that's over 320 pounds that moves freakishly athletic for a man that size. So he's another dude that can get to the quarterback, that could easily make this roster in, you know, replace of Christian Wilkins, maybe the practice squad. But we have a lot of guys that have been, you know, impressing the coaches. And I feel like the coaching staff just, you know, got together and was like, why are we even messing with this, right? What has he done for the organization since he's got here? Those 4 games, he got paid, what, $15-20 million a game for? I mean, if he gets that guaranteed money. So, yeah, I think they just washed their hands. It was easier just to cut their ties, not wait for him, because Pete Carroll's last statement was, we don't know. We don't have any return date for Christian Wilkins. And that was it. That was the end of it. Didn't elaborate on anything. It was short. It was sweet. He said, we don't have a time. That was the last talk. And then the next day, I do believe he was gone. So I think they just figured out that, look, if we want to compete, we can't have a guy on the PUP list who's one of our highest paid players who's going to be making $37 million next year. It just wasn't worth it for him. And then, like I said, Tyree Wilson playing on the interior, making plays out there. They're like, man, it just all makes sense to me. Do you think it was good getting rid of Wilkins, or we should have kept him? I got that. 15 sacks back-to-back. Raider Menace, what's good? Who had 15 sacks back-to-back? 12 sacks from Tyree would be nice. 12 sacks from Tyree would be insane. Oh, I get y'all. I get y'all. So my man, 15 sacks back to back to back, Raider Menace says, is what it would take for Tyree Wilson to live up to the 7th pick overall. That's rough, my guy. You're not cutting any slack. You like this upper management. It's just hardcore gangster shit right there. My guy Geomech said 12 sacks from Tyree would be nice. Are we counting this year and next year? Or just this season? I mean, I don't know. Actually, I won't say that. I was going to say I don't know if he could ever get 12 sacks in a season. But I believe Tyree Wilson can, man. If he continues to grow and gets better, but he has to get that mindset and that mentality where, you know, he's a dog, right? We heard Hondo Carpenter call him a peach. Like that, you don't want your defensive lineman to be called a peach, bro. Like, come on. Defensive edge, defensive tackle, nose. You don't want any defensive lineman being called a peach. So, yeah, he's, you know, soft-spoken. He's a great guy, but you got to find that warrior mentality. Victor, what's good? Appreciate you dropping in. Tyler Cool, appreciate you dropping in. You know, and I think that's the problem with Tyree Wilson is maybe he don't have that killer instinct. Maybe he's just wasn't raised like that. You know, and maybe he don't have that dog in him. Jack Kenna says, what will it take to bring guest on? OG would be a great one. I was trying to bring OG on, but he don't have any social media, so I don't know how to get a hold of him. Maybe we can go through Kenna. Maybe we could do that. I could pull you up right now, but you won't be able to go live on your channel. This shit is set up whacked. So, for the Raiders to pick Tyree Wilson, 5th-year option. I won't give a sack total. He needs a very good year. Victor R, shout out for that. Tyler Cool, hello to you. I mean, I could get that. I can get that. Not a good sack total. You're counting, you know, putting him in the category of Max Crosby, right? Is what I'm getting, where he's got to have pressures. He's got to have tackles for a loss. He's got to have run stops. Just an all-around solid year. I mean, I can get that. But his biggest year was 5. And that was last year, right? Coming off, you know, injuries, pretty much being a rookie. So I feel like 7 or 8 should be a doable number for Tyree this year. And if he can get a couple stops, you know, tackles for a loss, he's been getting pressures on the quarterback. So, yeah, I think he needs to have a huge year this year and next year, because next year's his contract year. So that's what we seem to be forgetting is he's a first-round pick, right? Your 5th-year option comes on your 5th year. So this is only his 3rd year. So he has 2 more years, which a man could take giant steps in 2 years. I mean, you could turn a guy from, I mean, a complete 100 in 2 years, right? That's a long time to work with somebody. So Robbie Leonard's already been, you know, working with this man. Max Crosby's already been working with them. And if you give him 2 more years, or this year and, you know, next year his contract year, I don't see why there's any reason the Raiders won't sign him unless he just doesn't perform. But I don't see that being the case, man. I see him getting better and better with each game. AOC for the touchdown. I have been real busy, so I'm free today. What's good, my guy? Appreciate you popping in. Geno Smith will start number 1, but if we don't win, could be a change. If we don't win, there has to be a change. But the question I have is, when will that change come? How long is it going to take? Does Geno have to go, you know, do we have to lose 3 games in a row? Is it 4 games in a row? Let me know in the comments below. How many games do you think Geno has to lose? or would you be would you be cool with Geno losing? And I'm saying Geno losing because, you know, when you say quarterbacks won Super Bowls, right? You say Patrick Mahomes. So if that's what everybody wants to put it on the quarterback and act like it's all the quarterback that wins games, then, you know, but turnover wise, mistake wise, how many games will you tolerate the Raiders losing in a row before you want Aiden O'Connell in? And I know there's not a lot of Aiden O'Connell fans, so this should be a damn good question, right? Oh, shit, hold up. I'm gonna get you. What's good, my guy? Let me fix this setting. One of these. Shit, I need headphones. Hold up. I can't hear shit. Damn it.
I'm the only one who needs headphones, bro. You don't.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
What the hell?
Can you hear me? Oh,
What's going on?
hold on.
Fuck. No, I have no sound. Can y'all
I have
hear
my
me?
headphones on. That's weird.
This is shitty.
I have my headphones on.
No, this app is really pissing me off. It's really pissing me off.
Hold on a moment.
No. What the fuck is going on? Hey, let me try this.
Man, I can't believe it. I hate these headphones.
Audio settings, audio output.
Hello? Can't hear me.
Did that work?
I can hear you.
Fuck, man. Did that work?
I can hear you.
Fuck, man. So I can hear you on YouTube, but I can't hear you on my end. That's weird.
That's weird.
Hold
But
on, let me
I
try
can
one
hear
more
you.
thing. I don't know why the hell it's not working.
I hear you fine.
Sorry, I apologize for technical difficulties.
Please stand by.
Output.
Whoa.
Can you hear me now?
I can
Or
hear
say
you.
something
Can you
now?
hear me?
Still nothing. Fuck. Shit, that's changed in here.
I'm trying every
All right,
setting
why
I
can't
have.
I hear you? This is garbage. One more minute. I apologize, chat. I apologize.
Huh.
Guest could control. Audio's on. Definition. What the fuck is going on?
This is weird. Let me try another setting here.
Say something.
I am.
Damn it. What the hell? Man.
I don't know.
All right, I'm going to try one more thing. If this don't work, I'm going to have to pull you up another time because I don't know what the...
Right.
Why it's not working.
It works on not
Speakers on
I've never done
audio.
restreams.
I tried that.
Never tried restream. I'm usually on something else.
Still nothing? Fuck my life. Why can't I hear? I changed it to every setting on there. Communication speaker interface. I tried that one. I don't know, bro. I don't know. Man, I apologize. I'm gonna have to figure this out, and I will make sure it works next time. I guarantee you. That was trash, bro. I apologize. I don't know what the hell is going on. No, it's Restream IO, and it's probably the last time I use this shit because every time I try to pull somebody up, it's been a problem. So, I will be complaining today when I get off. Can y'all hear me? Because I don't know if y'all can hear me now. Did I fuck everything up? This is so far behind. Pull somebody up. It's been a problem. All right, yep, you can hear me. Cool. Never mind. So, I will be complaining today. Oh, she's trying to call me, man. All right. I don't know what the hell just happened with this whole damn site. What the fuck? I have no camera now either? Bro. What the fuck just happened? Well, this has been a great live. I appreciate y'all showing up, but I'm gonna get the fuck off here at this. So my camera just totally quit working, and I can't fucking pull nobody up. This is bullshit, bro. All right, man. I'll be back. I'll be later on tonight, bro. I appreciate y'all. Peace out. Much love.